The Inferno, that translation was a hypnotic kind of writing. It was so much fun as well as agony to try to solve an English equivalent of the Terza Rima. And there was the exhilaration of knowing that though I might miss some things, I had something going for me that no one had ever done. Most of the translations that I knew, indeed all of the translations I knew, the ones I admired, the ones I thought were not so good, were kind of slow. Dante moves along. The Commedia is very rapid in Italian. The Terza Rima is like a supercharger. It lets him move from an apothegm to a narrative, to a conversation, to philosophy, to a lyric, very quickly. And by translating his sentences rather than his lines, and by using rhymes that were rhymes for English, like rhyming for, were, and car, not for, door, and whore. With feminine rhymes, making it hammer, summer, and glimmer, not hammer and glamour and slammer. Varying the vowel. I had the technical means. And working on that translation, I possibly was thinking about Dante's profound insights and the greatness of the poem in some part of my mind. But consciously and mostly, I was thinking about the equivalent of, if you put a hinge here and pull it with a thread there, this part will come up and there can be a little rubber bumper there. It was like building a ship in a bottle, or having a wonderful new knitting pattern or sewing pattern, or designing a garden where you're calculating the shade and where the wall will be and the heights of the different things. It was the best puzzle. It was the best challenge of technique I had ever encountered. Plus, it was exactly like writing, only I didn't have to think about what to say next. Translate, as I've said before, is a misnomer. You can't translate from Italian to English or to Japanese or to Swedish. Translate means translatere, means to carry across. You can't carry a meaning across. The word in Italian is the word in Italian, you know, and the English word is a different word. Pane is not bread. They're pointing to the same reality, but the words are different. They rhyme with different things. They have different roots. The better word is the old word people would use, an Englishing. I did an Englishing of the Inferno. And when you English it, you try to be as faithful as possible to the literal meaning, and you try to devise an equivalent for the form. The most beautiful translation of the Commedia is by Longfellow. Longfellow, who is a great master of sound and who was by profession a professor of Italian. He had lectured on Dante so often that probably in the course of his lectures and readings he had translated a lot of the poem without even intending to. He translates it into blank verse. It's very useful as a trot, though scholarship is dealt with some cruxes differently from the way Longfellow does. It's beautiful. You read any 10 or 12 or 15, 20 lines of it, it's gorgeous. It's hard to read a lot of it, particularly for an American reader. It's a Miltonic blank verse that he uses. So the word order that enables him to follow the Italian word order quite well, line for line, but it does not flow in an idiomatic way for a modern American reader. So it's very beautiful. It's a good thing to read, to remind yourself of the beauty of the poem. And I admire it and respect it very much.